Welcome back. I mean, guys, this is your Riviera Country Club, the Genesis Invitational preview podcast, YouTube show. Hopefully, you guys are just dialing in some of the insight, some of the odds that we give you guys. Hopefully, we're just flooding your brain full of just deep knowledge of this week's event. I mean, Jeff, it's the last of the West Coast swing. I mean, and we've got a huge field of 120 of the top players in the world kicking off at an event that's hosted by Tiger Woods. I mean, expectations.
Well, Tiger's hosting it, but he's not playing in it. Expectations are these guys are going to have a fucking blast. They're going to go low. It's going to be mid 70s and sunshine. It's LA. It's fucking palm trees. It's pretty women. It's booze. It's partying. I mean, if there's an event to end the West Coast swing, this is it.
You might as well do it in LA. I mean, go down there and just have way too many cocktails. How last year, this is event no one remembers, but this was like the event right before COVID kind of hit. It's a fanless event. I mean, last year you had Adam Scott taking the victory. It's something that, I look forward to just this golf tournament just because of the golf course itself. I mean, it's one of those, prestigious.
Well, it's like, it just reminds me of like old school, old money, big names. Like, I would die to go down there and play at that place. That would be amazing. Adam Scott's kind of a boring winner for last year. I hope we have a little bit more excitement this year with some of the guys. But here's the thing. I'm a little interested in DJ this week because over in, where was he? Saudi Arabia, where he won a couple weeks ago. He had some struggles. There was some talk about his putting. He topped one. He wasn't actually like firing on all cylinders. He won with like his B game. So I don't know if DJ is going to be 100% this week or if he's got a little bit of fucking mind fuck going right now.
I mean, he might. I mean, especially when you look at the past winners. I mean, Adam Scott, JB Holmes. I haven't seen that guy in a while. I mean, you got Bubba Watson who won it back. I mean, in 2018, 2016, 2014. Zach Johnson won it. James Hahn, Charles Howell. I mean, it just is. It's kind of a crazy event, and it kind of is. It's one of those events that, some of the really good ball strikers and the people that kind of show up, you would hope DJ has the ability. I mean, he won the Masters and he won the Saudi event and he played pretty well in Hawaii. It seems like he could go out there and perform. I mean, hell, he took a week off. He was supposed to be at Pebble. So I think he'd be a good pick this week. I mean, I know he's definitely favored.
It's an interesting week for me to see how he comes out and plays and see if he has the same issues he had out Saudi Arabia or not. But you mentioned a name to me that he's kind of going down the Ricky Fowler path, and that's Bubba Watson. And I love watching Bubba Watson play. I love watching him shape balls left and right and kind of doing his own thing. But, man, he is so caught up right now with wearing Jordans and advertising CBD creams and eating gummy bears. Like, dude, you need to get back on the winning streak. Yeah, you're a major champion, multiple major champion, but like your game has got to step back up. You can't. Ricky Fowler is a non-factor now. Even his advertisements are going away. Bubba would rather be doing TikToks on the golf course and trying to get social media famous than just fucking playing some good golf.
You're absolutely right. I mean, because he is all about it. But the scary thing about Bubba Watson is he is 43-1 to win this golf tournament this week. I mean, Dustin Johnson is 11-2 to win. I mean, you pick Dustin Johnson this week, you might have to pay Vegas. And you might have to pay Vegas just to even pick him. Where Bubba Watson might be a really good pick. I mean, he's a guy who only wins at certain events. I mean, the Masters, Riviera, and I mean, he's won at like, I think 2 other golf courses. I mean, he's got that LA vibe now. I mean, he's got some new clothing deals and he's worried about TikToks. I mean, that's what LA is about, right? I mean, hell, he was more worried about like a couple years ago playing in the NBA All-Star game than he was playing in a golf tournament. So I don't think he has a chance at all. I don't think Bubba is anywhere close to ever going to win again. I think he's riding the streak of his name and his major championship victories to keep that cash flowing.
Well, it's sad because I think he's doing this too early in his career. I think had he concentrated on golf and continued to get better and try to win some more, he could have. Like Phil right now is doing what Bubba's doing, but Phil's at the end of his career. Phil's falling apart. Phil shot fucking 80 out at Pebble Beach. Okay. But I can give Phil a pass because his history and what he gave us to the game of golf for 20 years, it's worth it. Bubba hasn't done that. Like, hey, take the time away from all this fucking fun and games and play golf competitively for 5 more years. Then go fuck around.
I agree with you because Phil has absolutely gone down just a scary, scary road. I don't even know if he's in the field this week. I mean, Phil, he goes out and shoots 80 at Pebble Beach and ties his record worst round ever. I mean, it's kind of scary. And especially watching him on the hole, and we didn't even cover it. I mean, watching him on hole 18, where he's just repeatedly dropping and dropping shots. Me and Phil looked more alike than Phil did. So
Hey, I'm going to say one thing about Phil, and I officially am marking Phil's done because never in my life did I think I'd see him putting with his fucking glove on, and he did it multiple times out there on Friday at Pebble Beach, and it's just like, dude, you've given up. If you're putting with your glove on, going Michael Jackson style, one hand, like you're done. You're done, Phil. Go to the Champions Tour, fucking go drink your coffee, work on your calves. You're done.
you hate to see it, but I mean, let's get into some picks, Jeff. I mean, this is an event where, again, the big D's are out. I mean, top. Some of the top guys are going to be there: Dustin Johnson, John Rahm, Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, Xander, Patrick Haley, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, Tony Finau, all these guys. I mean, it's gonna be really a packed field, and it's gonna be fun to get back to that. Unfortunately, they're not gonna have fans, so that energy level is definitely gonna be a lot lower. But who do you got this week, Jeff? I mean, you took home the victory last week. I thought we were gonna do this whole loser gets to pick first, but I say hell no. I mean, winners are winners. And your pick last week of Paul Casey absolutely just completely kicked my pick right in the teeth. Who do you got this week?
Well, I was going to defer to you. I guess we're going to switch it up and let me pick. So I had four names written down on my notes here, just in case you picked one, and then I was going to kind of go from there. I really like Brooks this week. I'm not going to pick him. I really like him. I'm going to go with the guy that just, God damn it, he drives the ball so fucking well that at this course, there's some longer holes. I think it's going to be beneficial to him. And I'm going with Rory. I know it's fucking, he's like second, in the odds, but Rory's got to come through for me one time.
Yeah, I mean, Rory McIlroy sits at 13-1. I mean, like the third ranked player in the world. I mean, why not? Why not pick Rory McIlroy? I mean, took a week off last week. I mean, he played some good golf down at the Waste Management. So yeah, that's a great pick, Jeff. I mean, is it a Brooks Koepka pick? Is it a Bryson DeChambeau? Even a Daniel Berger pick? I mean, I'm kind of shocked that you didn't go with Dustin Johnson, to be quite honest with you. I thought that would be the top of the leaderboard for you. I mean, the guy, plays in like 8 events and just wins like 50% of them. Last week I went with like the like solid, ball striking, did a lot of research, figured out like, my pick was going to make a difference. But as I look at your pick, I'm going to go with somewhat of a wild card. I mean, it's LA.
Ooh.
It's a forgiving city. It's one of those, it's one of those towns that, you got to dress nice. You got to be presentable, country club kid. I think the heat's off of them. I think there's people.
All right.
So I'm going with Justin Thomas. I think he's a great ball striker. I think the heat's off of him. I think him and his new clothing line, Peter Millar, is dressed to impress, and he's going to get it done this week. And he sits at 13-1 odds. So that's what I'm going with this week, buddy.
We're sticking to our New Year's resolution. We're not picking long shots anymore. It's just not happening. And know what? When a bottle's on the line every week, it can add up. I mean, hey, you started off hot. I've kind of been on a hot streak lately. So, you got to get a couple back from me.
I mean, because some of the longer shots in this particular tournament, I mean, we could have gone somewhere with like 700-1 Jimmy Walker. I mean, we could have gone with Brian Gay at 460-1, Pat Perez at 360-1. I mean, or taking the old shot of Jim Furyk, 310-1. So it's I think we got to stick to our New Year's resolutions and don't get sucked in to these these dream come trues, these great storyline picks, because when it's all said and done, Jeff, the cream of the crop are going to rise to the top, especially at some of these high dollar events hosted by Tiger Woods.
Well, and you just mentioned a name that he might not win very much, or maybe once or twice in his career, but this guy is living the fucking life, and that's Pat Perez. I mean, he's sponsored by Jordan. He's got a fucking mansion out in the desert that's unbelievable. His wife's hot. He travels around on fucking net jets or fucking wheels up to tournament to tournament. And he just goes out and I don't even know if they show half, maybe a 2 or 3 shots all week of him on TV, but he makes enough money to live this lifestyle. He obviously doesn't really care about fitness. He likes to eat good barbecue. He likes to drink. He's not Italian, but he likes Italian food. He's kind of like, if I could be any just average guy on the PGA Tour, that's the guy right there.
Because he's just done enough on the PGA Tour. He's won a couple events that has given him like status for years and years. I mean, I think he's a victory at like the Reno Open. He's won in like Bermuda. I mean, the events that are really the C-class events, and he's getting into some of these bigger events. I mean, he's kind of up there in the world rankings. I mean, he doesn't really have to worry too much. I mean, he plays kind of average golf, and the only time you get to see him is like on the range next to Roy McIlroy, some of the hot names, or you get to see him in events like Reno, where he literally is the only hot name. And I think he'd be a fan of the Aloha Press. I think he'd be accepted in our circle of golfers.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he gives zero fucks. He grows his hair out when he wants. He kind of wears flashy clothes. He wears his Jordans. He likes to party and have a good time. He's right up our alley, and he's done the most. Probably, middle of the line talent on the PGA Tour. That guy has figured it out.
The listeners want to know though, if you had to pick a guy who wasn't going to make the cut this week, who would it be?
Jimmy Walker.
I was going to go with Jordan Spieth. I don't think he's going to make it. I think he took advantage of these last 2 weeks of playing events where some of the bigger names weren't out there. I think Jordan Spieth is not going to make the cut this week.
All right, so we're throwing a second bottle on that.
On who's not going to make? No, absolutely. No, this is for the loyal listeners.
Because
right. the guy who I'm picking that's not going to make the cut is I don't know, Harry Higgs, because the LA Country Club or Riviera Country Club is rather hilly, and I don't think Harry Higgs is. Unless they're giving him a cart this week, I don't think he can make it 4 days in a row, let alone playing a couple practice rounds. Harry Higgs' cardio is definitely made for like a very Florida flat course. That's who I would pick. To be quite honest with you, who's currently at 360 to 1.
Well, let's go Harry Higgs versus Jimmy Walker.
All right, what? And they have to miss the cut, right?
Yeah, they got to miss the cut.
And it's whoever plays worse, right?
If they both miss, yeah.
Okay. All right. It's so we got a 2-bottle bet, Jeff, this week. Jeff is going with Roy McIlroy. I'm going with JT to win the damn thing. And we're picking guys who aren't going to make the cut. And he's got Jimmy Walker, and I've got good old
Chesty.
Hefty chest Harry Higgs. It's going to be a good time. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed our little insight. We've absolutely gotten zero knowledge from the actual golf course. With that being said, guys, really appreciate it, and catch back next week. If you enjoyed these episodes of the YouTube show, please subscribe, like, and tell your friends about it. And if you want this stuff in the PG format with a little less F-bombs, read the golf email newsletter, thealohapress.com. Sign up for that. But while you're there, we just did a complete drop of merchandise. We did a hat drop. It's got about 50 hats on it, and I would recommend getting it real soon, because some of the hats that are there, the inventory is really low already. It's people have kind of already hit me up, and it's I would recommend buying it sooner than later. So you can look for that at thealohapress.com also. So with that being said, Jeff, really appreciate it, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, brother.